Okay, so I'm going to do the Wjec intermediate paper from June 2022. Just show you the front there. So that's this one here. Right then, so I'm going to do this really quick as well, guys. So just feel free to pause, skip, wherever, okay? Right, first question, 3 squared times 2 cubed. 3 squared is 9. And then, of course, 2 cubed is going to be 8. So the answer is 72. Minus 124 divided by 4. So a negative divided by a positive is going to be a negative answer. So how many times does 4 go into 124? So 4 into 12 goes 3 times. And 4 into 4 goes once, so the answer is going to be 31, but because it's a negative, it's minus 31. Now 15% of 280, so if you want to find 10% of anything that ends in 0, you're effectively dividing by 10, so just get rid of the 0. So 10% is going to be equal to 28. 5% is half of that, which is going to be 14. And then you just add the two together, and then that'll give you an answer of 42. And then question 2, write these in ascending order, so that's going to go up. So 0.3, what I tend to do is I'll do that first, 0.3. Now that there, to convert that to a decimal, you know that percentages are going to be over 100. So 4 times 8 is 32. So the answer is going to be 0.32. Then, of course, 31% is 0.31. So the smallest value is 0.3. The next value is 0.31, so 31%. And the last one is going to be 8 over 25. I don't think it matters which, if you forget and just use the decimals in your answer. I'm pretty sure they will allow that, okay? As long as you show the working out the conversions. Right, so moving on. Question 3. Yep, the traditional angle question. Well, we know that all of this here must add up to 360 degrees. So 360 minus 220 minus 90 is 310. So 360 minus 310 is 50 degrees. So I'm going to put 50 there. And then, of course, this is an isosceles triangle. So that angle and that angle are going to be identical. So the way we do that is 180 minus 50 is 130 degrees. Divide that by 2. And that's pretty straightforward to do. But I'll tell you what I will do. I'll just show you this method I like to use again. Bus stop. So 2 into 13 goes 6 times. Carry 1. And 2 into 10 goes 5. So the answer is 65 degrees. Question 4. So question 4, a bit of an odd one really. Don't try and use the conventional algebra method. Just use a bit of logic here, okay? So what I did when I personally looked at it was I just wrote out a series of statements. So I went, well, Imran is 9 years older than Glyn. So Imran is Glyn plus 9. Glyn is twice as old as Sheila. So Glyn is equal to 2s. And the sum of the 3 is 49. So Imran plus Glyn plus Sheila equals 49, sorry, not 39. Okay, so what I'm going to do is you've got to try and rearrange at least 2 of these statements to create just a little equation. You could also do this question by trial and improvement, okay? But it just takes a bit longer to do. So I could tell you now, I rearranged this one. And I rearranged this one, I think it was this one here. So what I did was I used those 2 as my answer. And I'll explain why now, okay? So the first one is in terms of Imran. So Imran is equal to G plus 9. But what I'm going to do is I'm not going to use G. I know G is equal to 2S. So I'm actually going to say, instead of using G, I'm going to go 2S plus 9. And then I'm going to rearrange the second one here. So I is equal to, and then I'm just going to rearrange all of these now. But instead of G, I'm going to use 2S again. So it's going to be minus 2S, if I take it across to the other side, minus S plus 49. Now, I is equal to that, and I is equal to that. So that I is equal to that, and I is equal to this. So now I'm going to bring these two and make them equal to each other and just solve it. So 25, sorry, that's not 25, that's 2S plus 9 is equal to minus 2S minus S minus 3S plus 49. So now I'm going to simplify this, get the S's together. So 2S plus 3S is 49 minus 9. That leaves me 5S is equal to 40. So S must be equal to 8. So now we can work everything out. So Glyn is 2 times S. We know S is 8, so Glyn is 16. We know that Imran is 9 years older, so 16 plus 9 is 25, sorry. And then Sheila, obviously everything adds up to 49, so Sheila is going to be 8. And there we go. Again, you could just have used trial and improvement, okay? Just playing around with different numbers, as long as you follow the conditions of the ages. Right then, find the whole number, value of n, so that 7n minus 9 is a multiple of 4. So the multiple of 4s are 4, 8, 12, 16, 24, 28, 32, so on. So you've just got to play around, okay? So for example, I'm going to replace n with a number. So for example, I'm going to replace it with the number 1. So 7 times 1 is 7. Take away 9 is minus 2. Well, that's not a multiple of 4. Let's go one more. 7 times 2 is 14. Take away 9 is 5. That's not a multiple of 4. But let's go to 3. 7 times 3 is 21. Take away 9. And the answer is going to be 12. That works. So when n is 3, you'll get a multiple of 4. There are other answers as well that you could get, but as long as it's a multiple of 4, i.e. a number that 4 can go into, that's fine. Can I just check to make sure this is recording, please? 1 second. Yep. Okay, next one. Find the whole number value of n so that 3n minus 5 is a prime number. So these are your prime numbers. We have sorry, just this is playing up a bit. So the prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, and so on. Okay, so 3 times 1 is 3, take away 5 is minus 2. That's not a prime number. So let's go to another number. Let's go to 3, for example. 3 times 3 is 9, take away 5 is 4. 4's not prime. So now my answer, my first answer anyway, that I could use, 12 take away 5 is 7. And 7 is a prime number. So there we go, you can use 7. So prime numbers are numbers which are only divisible by itself and the number 1. 6. A bag contains red balls, green balls, and yellow balls. The number of green balls is equal to the number of yellow, so we know that green is equal to yellow. Probability always adds up to 1. the probability she picks a red ball is 0.3. So 1 minus 0.3 is 0.7. So all we've got to do now, because these two will equal to 0.7 when added together, all you've got to do is 0.7, half of that is 0.35. Just out of interest, in case you're wondering how can I do that mentally, well, what you can do is this: 2 into 0.7, 2 into nothing is nothing, 2 into 7 goes 3 times, carry 1, so draw a 0 there and carry 1, and then 2 into 10 goes 5 times, so it's 0.35. So a different bag contains 10 balls. Now this is only worth 1 mark, so it's not rocket science, okay? 10 balls, some of the balls in the bag are blue, the others are white. Morgan picks a ball and he says the probability I will pick a blue ball from the bag is 0.25. Explain why Morgan cannot be correct. Well guys, he can't be correct because let's say he chose there was only 1 blue ball, that would be 1 over 10, so it's 0.1. Let's say there were 2 blue balls, there was 2 over 10, which is 0.2. Let's say there was 3 blue balls, it's 0.3. The answer can only be 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. You can't have half a ball, okay? So that's the reason why. So it's up to you how you word that, okay? Basically, that answer is impossible. You can't do that. Right then, equations. Again, very straightforward. 4y is equal to, so I'm going to take the minus 3, so 15 plus 3, so 4y is equal to 18, so y is equal to 18 divided by 4. The reason that, because it's 4 times y, the opposite of times is divide, so how many times does 4 go into 18? And the answer is going to be 4.5. Okay, and again, if you want to do that using this method, so 4 into 18, so we know it goes in 4 times, but there's a remainder going to be of 2, so draw 0 and a 2, so 4 into 20 is 4.5. Solving this equation, so you've got, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the x's together. So you've got x's on both sides, you've got numbers on both sides. So if I just sum this in for you, there's my x's there. Don't forget the negative belongs to the number it's in front of, and you've got the numbers there. So I'm going to get the x's together. So it's going to become 8x, leave that on that side. If I just draw that there, I tell you what, to rub that out. So I'm going to go 8x minus, I'm going to take that across there, so it's going to be plus 3x equals 17 stays there, take the 38 across, that's plus 38. Simplify, 8x plus 3x is 11x, 38 plus 17 is 55, x is equal to 55 divided by 11, so x is equal to 5. Yep, okay, so they're both done. And then the next one, question 8. Yeah, trapezium. Now this is on the inside of your paper. If I go there quickly, there we go there, okay? Using this formula here. The 2 parallel lines are your A and B, and the height is H. So bear that in mind when you do this. So here we go. So the area of the rectangle is 48. So therefore, if the area is 48, then 8 times x, 8x is equal to 48. So x must be equal to 48 divided by 8. So x is going to be equal to 6. Why do we know that? Or why do we need to know that? Because it says the width of the rectangle is represented by x. The height of the trapezium is twice the width of the rectangle. So this here is 2 times x, which is 6. So that becomes 12. So now there's my A, there's my B, there's my H, the height. So it's A plus B divided by 2 times H. That's the simplistic way of doing the trapezium, okay? So 5 plus 9 divided by 2 is equal to 14 divided by 2, which is 7. And then 7 times 12, and the answer is going to be 84 meter squared. Question 9. Question 9, again, these questions are coming up quite regularly to do with the mean, median, mode and range and all that. They like asking them in different ways. They say that all the numbers between 1 and 15, they have a mode of 7. So the assumption I'm going to make is I'm going to put 7 in there and 7 in there, because 7 must be the most must be the most recurring number. They have a median of 8.5. Now, with median, that means to say that the two numbers there, when added together and divided by 2, must equal 8.5. So all you got to do is 8.5 times 2, which is 17. So that means to say that this plus this must equal to 17, because 17, half of 17 is 8.5, so that must be 10. We also know that the mean is 9, so that plus that plus that plus something, when divided by 4, equals 9. So if you do 4 times 9, the answer is 36. So we know that all of these add up to 36. So 7 and 7 is 14, plus 10 is 24. So what do we add to 24 to get 36? The answer is 12. And there's your answer there. Now, 10 is a ratio question. They want you to work out the length of B to C, but they want it in miles. So this is in kilometers, okay? Before I answer this question, I just want to bring to your attention that 5 miles is equal to 8k, or 5 divided by 8, whichever way you want to do it, okay? Let's do the ratio first. The total is 56. Divided by the ratio added together. 3 plus 4 is 7. So the answer to that is going to be 32k. So what we're going to do now is, we know that, hang on a minute, I've just realised I've done something wrong there. I've jumped the gun actually. I'll do that again. 56 divided by 7 is actually 8. So each part is worth 8. So 3 times 8 is 24. And 4 times 8 is 32. So the distance from A to C is 56. So that is fine. So we now know that B to C here is 32 kilometers. But we want the answer in miles. But don't forget that 5 miles is equal to 8k. So the conversion you would do is 32 times 5 over 8. Cross that off, because 8 can go into 32 4 times. So 4 times 5 is equal to 20. So the answer is going to be 20 miles. Now, what I'll do is, let me just split this up, into, oh, hang on a minute. If I just take, yeah, that's better. So hopefully this will make sense what I'm trying to do here, okay? So I don't have to keep turning the page. Basically, you've got to plot you've got to find the remaining 2 coordinates. So the way you do this is, if I just sum on this first, okay? I'm going to do this one first. It's easier to work with a positive. I'm going to put 1 into there, subtract 4, and get the answer. 1 squared is 1 plus 1 minus 4. 1 and 1 is 2. Take away 4 is minus 2. So I'm going to put minus 2 there. So we've done that one. Now what I'm going to do, you should do the working out here probably, okay? I'm just being a bit lazy and doing it on my screen there. Now I'm going to put minus 1 into there and minus 1 into there, and then take away 4. So negative 1 squared minus 1 times minus 1 is 1. Minus 1, because if I put minus 1 in there, it just becomes 1 minus 1, minus 4. So 1 take away 1 is nothing. Take away 4 is minus 4. So what I'm going to do now is just put my plot these coordinates now, okay? So we've done that for 2 marks. Now plot them. So I'm just going to zoom that out a bit, and I'm going to plot the coordinates. Minus 3, 2. Across to minus 3, up to 2. Now because it's an x squared, you will get a curve. So minus 2, minus 2. Minus 1, minus 4, 0, minus 4, 1, minus 2, 2, 2, and then finally 3, 8. So freehand, don't use a ruler please, just freehand do that there. And there you go. And then finally, now the last one causes a lot of problems actually, but it's very straightforward and it's only worth 1 mark. Use your graph to solve the equation is equal to 0. In other words, where does the graph cross the x-axis? That's all they want. What is that number there? So your first one is going to be minus 2 points, if I sum that in even more, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got roughly 6. So my first solution is going to be minus 2.6. And my second solution is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I call that 6 again, 1.6. And there you go, boys and girls. Okay, so job's a good one. Right, moving on here. I'm going to tick that back off now. We'll go to a single page. Okay, so this one here, in my opinion, is probably one of the hardest ones to do on the paper, only because I think a lot of students on the intermediate level, when you do pie charts in a class, you're just used to doing a pie chart. But this question is asking you to use your knowledge of pie charts to work out how many people there actually were. So you're actually going in reverse rather than creating a pie chart. So the children in year 5 and 6 are asked, they take part in a survey, and they're asked, how many pets do you have? So no child in either year had more than 5 pets. Okay. There are 36 children in year 5. So we know in year 5 that this pie chart represents year 5. There's 35 there, okay? Sorry, 36 there. In year 6, we know there's 25, and it doesn't tell us that, but if you add up every bar, it comes to 25, okay? So in total, we know there are 61 students altogether in 5 and 6. This is what they want to know for 6 marks. Oh, by the way, showing that totals 25 and the 61 in total will give you marks, okay? But what we want is this. One child chosen at random from all the children in year 5 and 6. What's the probability that this child has no more than 1 pet? Now for year 6, that's easy because we know there's 6 there and 8 there with no pets and 1 pet. But here, for the no pet and the 1 pet in the pie chart for year 5, we don't know how many there are, but we do know the angles. So what you do is you get your protractor and you measure this angle here. And I could tell you, keep it simple, that comes to 40 degrees. What I'm trying to say is just keep her in tens. They'll normally be in tens in your exam. So what you do is this, it's 40 degrees divided by 360 degrees times 36, because there's 36 in year 5. Cross off the 36. This now becomes, so that there is just 1, okay? So it's 40 divided by 10, which is 4. So we know there's 4 students there. Now do the same for 1 pet. We know that that's 90 degrees. So 90 divided by 360 times 36. Cancel them off. So 90 divided by 10 is 9. So we now know there's 9 there altogether. So 1 child is chosen at random. What's the probability that the child has no more than 1 pet? So this child in year 5 can either have no pets or 1 pet, and in year 6, no pets or 1 pet. So all you got to do is add up the 4, the 9, the 6, and the 8. So if you add all them together, I have done the answers here already actually. You get 27 in total. So the answer is going to be 27 out of a total of 61, because we know there's 61 in the whole year group. Right, 13, write down an expression for the nth term. N is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. The pattern is minus 6. So minus 6n. Then what I do is this. Minus 6 times 1 is minus 6. But I want 15, so what do I add to minus 6 to get 15? Now here's a good one for you. Dyslexic students in particular like this method. The gap from minus 6 to 15. Well, obviously, there's a 0 there in between. The gap from minus 6 to 6 is 6. The gap from 0 to 15 is 15. So you just add them together. 15 at 6 is 21. So I would need to add 21 to that. And there's your answer there. Minus 6n plus 21. And the whole point of nth term, it allows you to work out any number in that sequence. So for example, let's say I wanted to find out the 3rd number in the sequence. We know the answer is 3, but let's prove it. Minus 6 times 3 is minus 18 plus 21 is 3. So it does work. Don't forget to do them checks, yeah? 14. Right. Clever question coming up, guys, because they've moved away from the conventional way of asking this question. You all know how to do tree diagrams. We know it adds up to 1, but they've come out with this statement and they put it in bold. Don't forget, in probability, and is equal to times. So the probability of event A and B is 0.48. So we know that 0.6 is event A, something therefore event B. So 0.6 times that something is equal to 0.48. 48 divided by 0.6. In other words, how many times does 6 go into 48? And the answer to that there is going to be obviously 8 times, okay? So all you need to do now is put 0.8 here. 0.2. 0.2. Get rid of that, sorry. Right, question. What's the probability of neither event A or B occurring? So it's a bit like saying this, going this route not occurring and this route here not occurring. So it's 0.4 and 0.2. Again, it's a times question. So 0.4 times 0.2, and of course the answer is going to be 0.08, not 0.8 like a lot of students would do, okay? Question 15, similar shapes. The way I like to remember these is, you know that that one goes with this one here, with that line there, sorry. Obviously, this one here goes with that one there. And then finally, the bases will go together, okay? That goes with that. Now you can clearly see that this is the big one here. That's this little one there. Big triangle, small triangle. That's the way I always look at these things anyway. They want you to work out the length of C to E. So you're going from big to small. So obviously they're similar. So there's a ratio involved here, okay? So how do I locate that ratio? Well, do you see how I've color coded these? The 15 goes with the 10. So what you do is you take the big value, always divided by the little value, and the answer is 1.5. And I can absolutely guarantee you that in most of these questions, it will always be a 0.5, okay? Very, very rarely it'll be a horrible factor like a 1.3 or a 1.7. They're normally 1.5. Usually they're a whole number as well. Okay, so what's the length of C to E? We're looking for a bigger length. They're giving us the smaller. So you just do 8 times 1.5. So 1 times 8 is 8. A half of 8 is 4. So 8 plus 4, the answer is 12 centimetres. And what's the length of AB? This one here. Well, you've been given the big one there, 10.5. So now you divide that by that scale factor, 1.5. And I could tell you that 1.5 goes into 10.5 5 times altogether, okay? Sorry, 7 times. I've been stupid, sorry. 1.5 plus 1.5 is 3. So another 3 is 6. And another 3 is 9. So that's 6 times. Plus another 1.5 is 10.5. And yes, the wonderful simultaneous equations. Okay, so again, my method, guys, yeah? I always teach the kids, look at the signs first of all. So plus and a minus. Unlike signs, add. You could go on holiday to the US of A. Unlike signs, add. So we're going to add these together, okay? But before we do that, we need to eliminate. Now, I always eliminate the middle. Why? But again, it doesn't really matter which way you do this, okay? So, to get y's the same, I times everything up here by that number there. Ignore the sign, just concentrate on the number. And then I multiply this here by that number there. So here we go. You might see some teachers doing this 1 and 2. That's fine. If you want to do that, that's cool. But here we go. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 29 is 116. Now do the same down here. 3 times 5 is 15x. 3 times that is minus 12y. 3 times is minus 24. Don't forget, unlike signs, we're going to add these together. 8 plus 15x is 23x. Now, the reason we get these the same is they now disappear. So 12 plus minus 12, of course, plus and a minus take away. So equals 116, take away 24, which is going to leave you with 94. Sorry, 92. So x is equal to 92 divided by 23, which is going to be equal to 4. So we now know that x is equal to 4. So what we do now is we take our x is equal to 4 and we substitute it back into the original equation. So instead of calling it x, we're now going to call it 4. So 2 times x, or 2 times 4 is 8, plus 3y equals 29. 3y is equal to 29 minus 8. So y is equal to 21, sorry. And then y is equal to 21 divided by 3. So y is equal to 7. And you could check these, you know, because if you put 7 into there and 4 into there, so 2 times 4 is 8. 3 times 7 is 21. So 8 plus 21 is equal to 29. So that works. Okay? And if you put it into the other one as well, it will work. And then finally, I think, yep, question 17. Right. All you need to remember with these types of questions is this. 1 meter is 100 centimeters. So 1 meter squared would be 100 times 100. But this is cubed. So it's effectively 1 meter cubed is 100 times 100 times 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros altogether, okay? So there's 6 zeros altogether. So all you need to do is we need to put 6 zeros onto this. So, but rather than do that, look for the one that's got 10 to the power of 6, which is that one there. And that's the answer there, okay? 36 to the power of a half. Right. Anything to the power of a half basically means square root. So that is the same as saying square root 36. So 25 to the power of a half would be square root 25. 100 to the power of a half is the same as saying square root 100. These are all to do with indices. So what's the square root of 36? 6 times 6 is 36, so the answer is 6. Then finally, this last one here. The way I would have done this one is I would have probably gone like this. 30,000 divided by, I would change that to a whole number. So it'd be, if you're not sure how to do that, 10 to the 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0, 0, 0. So 1, 5, 0, 0, 0, 0. Cancel off the zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then all I got to do is work this out. 3 over 15, which is 1 over 5. Is 0.2. So the answer is 0.2. Now, if you're not sure about that, think of a shape, split it into fifths. This is one whole. So that's got to be 0.2, 0.2, 0.2, 0.2, 0.2. So 1/5 is 0.2, 2/5 is 0.4, 3/5 is 0.6, 4/5 is 0.8, and so on and so on and so on. Boys and girls, that is the end of the paper. So I hope you find that useful, and then I'll put some more on over the next day or so, okay? Thank you.